Hey, what's going on, folks? Just going to do a nightly feeding, and I just had to show you this. Check this out. I just think that's so cool. That is the Twig Catfish, or I think it's said Farlowella, I think is how you pronounce that. But that is the coolest looking thing. If you can see, his nose is almost like kind of sticking out of the water. I don't know, I just think that looks cool. He's on a lily pad, just to give you an idea. That looks awesome. I don't know how he got up on there. I mean, he would have had to really, I mean, if you look, I mean, you can see the other lily pads, how they kind of drip down. But I mean, he basically saw that and just swam up and got on top of it. And he may be what's been eating my lily pads, or she. I know that it's fair to put that on a male, but I just couldn't resist filming this. I've never seen this before. And anyway, I wanted to show you guys something. If you look at see how the plants are rolling, everything's happy. And you can see those guys are starting to close up because the lights are going to kick out here any minute because the timer's almost done. And I've got the two backlights are on about a 12-hour, and then the high blue, indigo blue is the name of the bulb, are on about a 5-hour window. And they just try to simulate direct sunlight to get the dwarf baby tears rolling. But anyway, another story. Here's what I want to talk about. I was at the pet store today, and they've got a royal Farlowella, by the way, and I'm definitely think I'm going to get it this weekend, but they just came in today. So, word of advice, if you know your pet store just got something, a fish by air freight, and it just showed up in the tank, wait a few days. Give it at least 48 hours before you bring one home to your tank, just to make sure there's no ick that hits the tank. Make sure they look good, and then get a healthy one. Get one that's looking okay. But what I wanted to talk about, I was in the pet store, and they got a new tank they're doing that's planted, and you always get algae blooms usually on a new tank. Just so you guys know, if you're doing a new planted tank, there's a certain point, I don't know why it is. It's happened to me. It happens to a lot of people, where you just kind of get an algae bloom with a new tank. I don't know. I can't explain it, but don't panic. It happened to me on the small one, and you guys saw what I did to fix it, and it's perfect now. But here's what I really wanted to talk about, and I'll just let you guys watch the fish while I get on a quick soapbox here. But the thing that I really wanted to talk about, and let me feed the fish while I got you here, is in the store, this guy was talking about what he was doing with the tank. And he's getting a CO2 system, but he's adding all kinds of chemicals. He's adding, anyway, I don't want to get into all of it, but he's going all over the board. And he's dumping lots of stuff. And one thing I noticed, he had some checkered barbs in there. Really cool looking fish. Had a big school of them. I mean, it's a pet store, right? And the way this pet store works is each person that's on staff there gets their own tank. So he's got about an 80 or 90 gallon nice tank, about the size of my 120 here, tall, but it's not as deep, but it's about the same dimensions. Really nice planted tank. He's done a good job with it. He totally redid it all. He's just got glasso all down in here, and then anyway. But here's what's funny. I don't know if you guys and Christian. I don't know what or not Christian. Maybe it is. This guy's. I think he's getting married. He's down in Florida. Hasn't posted anything in forever. Has a great channel. Love his videos. He's got a planted tank and a cichlid tank. But anyway, he's got the pond he was working on. But he's down in Florida. And I don't know what's going on, but I hope he's doing all right. But he made a statement in a video that I saw that if you see fish like against the glass, like pacing back and forth, it means they're trying to get out of the tank. It's usually a bad sign. And what I noticed is, I had one of my fish doing it. I had this one right here. When she was pregnant, trying to have babies, she was just frantically pacing on the glass back and forth. And it's in a prior video. But all of the checkered barbs in this tank were at the far end, and they were frantically trying to find a way to swim through the glass to get out of that tank. So, two things. The water wasn't clear, and the fish were constantly swimming against the glass. That tells me he has some serious balance issues. And one thing I'll tell you guys, if you get a chance, go see some of the ADA videos, the Amano videos, and look at like there's people that are that I'm subscribed to, and people that are on the channel all the time, and you go and click on some of the links for like Bez comments sometimes out on this channel, and so does Beer Belly DK. But if you look at their tanks, those tanks are crystal clear. My tank, I haven't done a water change on this in a while. It's getting near the end of the week, and even when I did one, it was only like, I don't know, 30%. But the water here is really clear. But here, it's not crystal clear. Look at that. So if you look down there, you can kind of see if I don't have stuff on the glass. But I'm telling you, like Amano's tanks, people that have really high quality tanks, their water is crystal clear. And so that is like, you know, nirvana, right? You want a level of perfection for a planted tank. This is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy with what I've got here. The plants are good. The fish are healthy. The water's good. And this guy's just like, he's just like a freaking alligator. He's like a croc. What is he doing over there? He's trying to back down. Looks like he's going to back out of there. But anyway, that's just pretty funny. But the point I'm making at is, crystal clear water, you get that by doing the water changes, or as Dustin would say, doing the work. If you go to Dustin's channel, what is it? Dustin's Fish Tanks, whatever. But water changes and balance are huge, and you can't cheat that with chemicals. And I really detest chemicals, just because it's almost like an airplane. You know, if you watch somebody fly an airplane, or if you've ever done a flight simulator, you slowly turn. If you're constantly oversteering, where you're doing like this huge bank and then this huge bank, that's what's happening with the tank if you're doing chemicals. You know, it's almost like flying a plane. I mean, you just want balance. You want it to balance, and if it starts to tip a certain way, make small corrections before they have to be drastic. And a perfect example is if you have an algae bloom, you got two things going on. You got too much light, or too much nutrients, or both. So, you know, if somebody spills a bunch of food in your fish tank, you're going to get algae issues. If you don't do a water change, like right then, you're going to have an algae bloom. Anyway, and I'm going to get off my soapbox now, but I just wanted to say hey, and hope everybody's doing well. And by the way, the lights are off in the 33. That's why I'm not going to show you anything. And it's kind of dark in there. It's really dark here, but it's kind of lit. Well, you can't really see it. But anyway, it's getting some light in there from this. But it's totally stabled out. But the big change there, I did the water change, and I did some work on it. But anyway, man, I'm learning a lot. This is a great way to learn about fish tanks. I appreciate everybody posting. Appreciate all the cool comments. And have a good one. It's Wednesday. I feel like I'm posting a video every day. It's like, you know, fish time, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, somebody asked about the glass catfish. These guys are based in, they're Asian based. And the thing I love about these guys They're one of the most transparent fish that you can ever own. And you can see, well, he kind of spooked off there. But their internal organs, I can't easily, here we go, they're all back in there now. But their internal organs, you can see their organs, you can see their nervous system, you can see their skeleton. The crazy thing, and I haven't had one of these happen, knock on wood, I've got all 8 since I've started this tank. I'm, afraid I'll jinx myself after the German Blue Ram, but got them at PetSmart. They don't have the highest quality. Got them at a good price, and they've done very well. But the crazy thing about these fish, and what you'll find if you have a glass catfish, I lost one when I was younger. When I first found this fish, I actually had it like in the 80s. I had a 30-gallon planted. But when this fish dies, and if you're in the pet store and they get a bunch of new ones in, and you watch them, and one of them passes away, as it starts to fade into the next life, they actually turn sheet white, white as snow, which I always thought was crazy, because most fish, you would think it would stay clear, but it doesn't. It goes completely snow white, which I just think it's amazing how translucent they are. They like the shade, they like the shadow. They're a great fish. When I put the pellets out, they'll actually come out. Matter of fact, watch this. So here's what I do. Let me see if I can. It's hard to get with one hand. I take a bunch of pellets here. I get the really small kind. I had somebody get me hooked on this. You can see. But this is, I really like this stuff. This is the New Life Spectrum, and it's the 5mm. And the great thing about this pellet is everybody can eat it. Watch, even the SAEs will eat it. But see how these glass catfish will come out? And they are really good bottom feeders too. They have those whiskers, and they'll bounce them back and forth. And it's almost like they can taste with those feelers. And I got to watch out. The rainbows are going to splash me. Those guys get crazy. If I put the Tetra flake, I do the Tetra color flake, and they'll actually just hit it and splash. But here's a great, somebody asked me about this fish. I was just trying to give you guys a better look. But it's just a very cool fish. And I don't know if you noticed, but you could actually see the neon behind it. And I'm not running highlights right now. And by that I mean I've just got the 2 in the back. But Corys are awesome. Love those guys. They're just fun. They remind me of, was it the Mario guy with the plumber guy with the little mustache? They're just like always working hard with attitude. Turpeys have good color too. Those guys are usually in the back hunting for shrimp unless I put the food out. I'll feed them one more time. But what I like to do is I like to get a pinch of this pellet. Show you what I do. Take a pinch of it. I got a pinch between here, and then I'll actually throw it down, and then some of it will float, and then you'll get a big bunch of it that'll just start falling like this. And then just pick a spot in the tank so that the stuff that immediately sinks lands in an open area, and then these guys can clean it up. And so here's the deal. Oh, speaking of my lights, so what I wanted, I need to let them finish eating, and then I'll turn the slide off. But speaking of, one final comment, and hey, for somebody who got on me about running out of time or being short, it's going to be 15 minutes, my longest one yet. But basically, the advantage of having a stocked tank, if you see all the fish, I'm going to go ahead and shut this. Sorry, to give you guys a better view, I need to get the light down so I'm out of the glare. But the advantage of having a stock tank like this is it's all but impossible to overfeed. It really is. I mean, you just have to like just pour the whole container in there. And I honestly, between you and me and everybody else on YouTube, it's honestly easier for me to feed this tank than it is the 33 gallon. It was very difficult for me, and that might have been some of my balance issues and some of my problems that I had with the algae blooms. Was it was really hard for me to put just a little bit of food in for a small tank. And you know, I'd be interested if anybody has a nano tank and how they feed. I've noticed some people actually use the tweezers, or you know, just put in just a little bit and almost like hand feed the fish, which seems really difficult. You know, if you notice, like right here, you know, I've kind of overfed, but all these guys are going to come out and clean this up. And then not only that, but if you look in the back, there's some shrimp. If you can see behind the pearl gourami, there's a shrimp coming out, and the big ones come out because they're not afraid of anybody. But I'll have shrimp crawling out. Matter of fact, here's one right here. Let me give you an idea how big they are. This guy right here, see how big? I mean, that's a good size. Give you an idea of this. I mean, he's as big as a jumbo neon. But, and I just think it's wild how dark they get. So, it's just a normal ghost, but I don't know if it's from my black sand or what, but they've just kind of darkened up. But the point is there's a lot of those guys in this tank. And matter of fact, there's another one right under here. He's kind of backing up. He's worried about some angels that could easily eat him if he's not careful. But the point I'm getting at is, you know, this stuff's almost gone. These guys have cleaned it up. So, and I just wanted you to get a good look at the glass cats. But anyway, and the other cool thing is, by the way, while I'm at it, see the buds up there? See how they're closing? That's a sign that it's gotten all the light that it wants today. When you see them closing on the tips, and I think Christian even mentioned that on one of his videos. But just kind of cool stuff. But hey, you guys, and oh, Christian, thanks for telling me what that plant is. Somebody else told me as well. The Marcella, something else, I can't remember, but it's on my channel. But thanks for telling me that. I want to read about it. It's just a cool looking plant. Looks like something you would find with a leprechaun. I don't know, just kind of has an interesting look. It feels weird too if you ever watch how it propagates. But anyway, all right, I'm done here. But guys, thanks for watching. And I've yapped about all I care to yap, and I still cannot believe that this whole time this guy is still up here. Anyway, that's just hilarious. Very cool. And I'm probably going to get that royal Farlowella. And if you guys remember, I had 3 at one point and then lost. I just need to do some research, which you should always do before you buy Fish Impulse, and make sure that the royal Farlowella will coexist with these guys very well. And I can't imagine that they wouldn't. I've never seen these guys be aggressive towards anything, but I just want to make sure. So, we'll see. But hey, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. I'll back out one last time. And it's probably going to take 2 days to upload this video, but it's fun doing it. See you guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the new subscribers. And happy Wednesday. See you.